Welcome back to the Over the Shoulder podcast, episode 26. This week we're going over the Figures Inc. WCW Complete line. And like always, my co-host, Rob Figs Inc. Staniloff. Who do we have on this week as our co-host?
Another exciting episode, of course, for the Over the Shoulder podcast. And this is a big episode, Max. I mean, one of the bigger ones that we've had. We've got two guests on, two co-hosts on this evening. And I'm really, really excited to have these guys. One of them was on our previous episode. But another one has made their, I don't know how many appearances, but I think it's probably, third appearance or fourth appearance on the show. Belt Addicts Anonymous co-founder and admin, Kale Fan 93, KC Bridges. We are really happy to have you on here, bro. Say hi to all the fans.
Oh, shit. What is going on, you guys? It's KOL Fan 93 back on the Over the Shoulder podcast. Glad to be back, guys. Thanks for having me.
And you know what, Casey? We're happy to have you, man. I mean, it's amazing how we can get so many co-hosts on our small podcast that, Max and I are doing from good old Calgary, Alberta. Happy to also have another fellow Belt Addicts Anonymous who actually just joined our admin team. He was on last week. He helped us out immensely. So, it's Brandon Douglas. But Brandon, say hi to all the fans. I know you've got something you're in disguise here, so anyways, say hi to all the fans.
Booyaka, what's going on, y'all? Pleasure to be on again, man. Had a lot of fun last week. Now we got the man, the myth, the legend, Casey on, back again with another video. So let's get this thing going, man. I love it.
Oh, and we're really happy to have these guys on with us. Of course, we want to shout out again to Belt Addicts Anonymous, our main page here. That all the universe there. Hopefully, all you guys are watching this. We are really excited to be bringing this episode to you. You're going to see some real good belts that we're going to be reviewing. You're probably going to hear us cuss a little bit about some other pieces of shit that we have to get off of our chest. But anyways, Max, if you want to jump right into it, go for it.
Yeah, for sure. Now let's start before we get to the belts. Let's start off with a little flyer. So shout out to Casey for sending me this. This is really cool. So Casey, do you want to talk about a little bit about this flyer and the history behind it?
So I actually have to give this credit to Jamie, the other admin at Belt Addicts Anonymous. This is one of his magazines. He sent this to me for the encyclopedia project we've been working on. But this was a flyer from, I believe, 2001. This was in a WWF magazine. This was during the invasion angle, I guess. And I'm getting thrown back. I'm getting really, really taken back by looking at this. Just look at the prices.
God.
First and foremost, this was a time whenever the picture that they were using right there, that's the actual replica that you got. Because those are obviously the replica belts. That's not them taking a snapshot of the TV belt or something like that and just cropping it or photoshopping it, whatever. This was the original line here, and these should have been the exact same plates and formats as the 1999 WCW line. If I remember correctly, the magazine advertisements for the 1999 line were in black and white. So yes. You couldn't really see much detail on those, but this is the exact same thing basically, except you're just going to have that the Alliance stamp instead of the WCW. So there were a lot of differences with these from the other line because WCW's line has been redone so many times. It's been redone more than the Attitude Era line, more than the Ruthless Aggression line. Like, it is insane how many of these have been remade. You see right there the tag team title. Look at the logos on the side plates.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen purple logos on that belt stock since 2001?
Nope.
No.
And Casey, you mentioned about the prices. I'd snatch up all these belts in the deluxe, and if the ultra deluxe was available, that line, that amount too, I would not be getting the standards. I would be getting all deluxe, ultra deluxe.
Damn right.
Seriously. So I see. Brandon, you've got a catalog there.
Okay, so this one is from fall 2000. This is when, again, the Alliance Fair thing or whatever. So on these right here, the price is a little bit lower. We got $150 for the Figs Inc. And these are the actual belt they took the picture of. So you got the cruiserweight. You got little hand bracelets they did. And then there's the one I was telling you about, Max. You got the NWO and you got the red NWO. $175.
Holy shit!
That is
so they actually made the red and black NWOs in the original 99 line?
Yep.
Or 2000?
99. Jamie has to all my knowledge, she's the only one in the US that has the 99 black NWO. And then
fuck.
Yeah. And also the red. I haven't seen anybody overseas. There's a couple of people with the red NWO belt, but I haven't seen anybody in the US with one. But yeah, there's the belts, and the funny thing too, you got the mini belts, $75.
Guys,
That's around what they are today.
Seriously, I want you guys to create a fucking time machine because I want to go back and get them all.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Where the fuck is Marty McFly?
Seriously, telling you.
Now, moving on to the actual belts, I'll start off with the WCW Big Gold. So shout out to Brandon for these pictures. I had no idea there was a 1mm version, which today is laughable, but back then is really actually kind of cool knowing that there was a 1mm version and then a 2mm version. I mean it's 1mm, so you can't get too deep of etching, but even then, etching doesn't even seem that bad for 1mm. Etching's not bad. Same with the 2mm. Etching doesn't look bad at all. You can see the detail there. You can see the grapplers. That nameplate looks fucking great, especially on that Goldberg. The globe looks good. The crown looks good. It's a nice replica. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest. I like the 2mm version better. The 1mm version, I definitely know some differences between the left and the right picture. Well, exactly where the writing is, where the World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion and then comparable to the one on the right. The one on the right seems a little bit more defined, I find. The nameplates are pretty much almost all the same. 1mm plates, guys. I mean, fuck. Like seriously, if we could talk about that United States one, I know this is not the time and place, but the United States replica, where they say it is a 2mm, but it's not. It's like a 0.25, or even the Smoking Skull with the stupid swoosh at the WWE. I mean, what the fuck are we trying to pull here? 1mm, guys. I mean, fuck. Is that bigger than someone's dong? Seriously, come on here. I mean. What are we trying to pull here? Seriously, 2mm I think is a lot better. I really do. The floral pattern's nice. The globe is nice. I just think it's a lot better. Casey, what do you think?
So you're gonna laugh at me here, but I'm kind of digging the 1mm version.
Me too. I feel ashamed, but me too.
I think it's just the pure nostalgia factor, because that's the original one. That's the one that had the rivets on the back of it. That you couldn't unscrew it from the plate. The plates from the strap. You could only get the nameplate off. But I don't know. I don't know why it looks like it's popping more. I mean, of course, I love the 2mm version. I do have a 2mm version. But seeing that 1mm, I don't know. I kind of want to get one.
Could be the lighting, maybe.
Brandon, did you doctor these photos?
No, actually, I didn't. I had the perfect lighting that day, so I actually did not need to change the effects of the pictures at all. I was pretty excited about it. But yeah, like you're saying, man, that there's a definite definitive on that. The World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, like you were pointing out, Rob, it has almost like there's no gloss to it. it has a distinctive flat base to the world heavyweight, but they did it right in that specific spot. And then once you go down to it, you get a little bit of a gloss to it, which I thought was pretty freaking cool. And like we were saying, Casey, the back of the belt, the little rivets there, you can't unscrew them. You can't nothing. If that thing comes out, you're done. And so this is a funny story. I had actually in 1999, I had my grandma buy me the version of that belt for the kids version size, and I have a picture. I'll show it to you guys later. I'm holding it, and when I saw the Hulk Hogan come out with the big gold, and it had the two side plates were broken off, the one top side plate was broken off, so my dumbass goes and pushes them out, thinking, oh, I could just put them back in. Well, they didn't go back in, and so when my mom came into my room and saw that the belt was all, beat up and broken up, yeah, that was the last time I got an expensive belt. So I had to start making them out of cardboard and, construction paper after that.
Nice.
I like Brandon was saying, the letters look so, I don't know, I kind of like it. Like, the background looks almost like matte, if that makes sense, behind the letters. And it might be just the lighting, or I don't know what it is about it. It's just like, it makes the letters more defined. The World Heavyweight text looks way more defined than the one on the 2mm. And I kind of like it, especially on the back. It almost like, I don't know, it adds to it, especially behind the grapplers. Almost like a texture. And I know it's not a texture, but it almost feels like a texture.
So it just hit me, like, the reason that I like this so much is it reminds me of that 2D textured big gold that they used on SmackDown in like 2013.
Oh no,
that's one of my favorite versions, and that's what it's giving me the vibe of.
The one that Christian held.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's it. That has to be it, because the background just makes the stone holders, the grapplers, and the text pop so much more. And
right, it pushes them into the foreground.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
It was definitely a different gold. I'll tell you that it was a different kind of gold. I don't know, like I said, what they did or whatever, but yeah, you could definitely tell the difference. And say I'm still torn between the two. I'll tell you that the 1mm can pretty much fly in the wind, and it can blow away. It's like I said, it's really thin, but like you said, it was the first ever Figs Inc. heavyweight belt. Now, Casey, I know you can quote me on this one. Before the line of these belts, there were these cheap looking. There was a United States and a heavyweight, and I think there was one more. Those were the first ever metal plates, I guess you can say, that they did. I would have to find it on eBay. That was the last time I saw it, but they were really cheap looking belts, but those were actually the first metal belts that they used that came out. They're not in the catalog. I believe it was in the 99 catalog. I have the 2000 and 2001, but I will try to find a picture of those and send them to you. But really cool.
So
really cool.
Just to clarify, you're talking about the ones that they were pretty much kid size, and it was like they were bolted on the front and they had the Velcro.
Yes.
They were metal. It was like 0.5 millimeter, maybe 1 millimeter, and it was screen printed.
Yes.
I remember whenever I was like 9 or 10. No. I was probably about 11 because I'd already got my first build. My mom had an eBay account, and we had a bidding war going with this other guy for this lot of them. There was like 5 or 6 kid-sized belts, and then there was that whole lot of the ones that you're talking about, and it was only like $58, and it sold for $75. And I remember my mom didn't want to go above $70 on it. But yeah, I remember that.
Damn. Now, moving on to the WCW World Tag Team Championships. Now, there are 2 versions on these, and Casey, can you elaborate on the differences between the version 1 and the version 2?
So, the version 1, this was, I believe this was a 99 release. This was the first version of the JMAR tag. And you'll notice right away whenever you're comparing it to the V2 there on the right, it's missing a pretty major key component to that main plate, and that is the eagle.
Yeah.
The eagle pushes the sides of that plate further out. So right here, you're dealing with a belt that the center plate is almost narrower than the side plates. There's no eagle. You've just got Atlas holding the earth. The logo plates are not colored in on this version on the side plates. You look at the V2, the first version of that came out did have the purple paint on the WCW. You can see there in the middle of that section, it's got the purple variant picture. So credit to Jamie for that one. But big differences, and these V1s, they're really rare. I know Brandon's got one right there. Jamie's got one. I've seen a couple of them, but I was never able to get my hands on one. But trust and believe it's going to happen. But Brandon, go ahead and say something, because you've got this thing right there for everybody to see.
All right, so I just want to show you guys the comparison real quick of the V1 to the V2. This is the V1 flat to the bottom right there. And there's the V2 right behind it. That's how much of a difference there was in that.
Holy shit.
So like I said, if you look at it, you got the wing right there. And then you got no wing.
Do you have the purple variant?
No, that was the 2001 version that WWF, when they had purchased Figs Inc., they had made that version. And no, I do not have that one. I did have it in my collection a while ago, but once I got the V1, I didn't need it. And like I said, I was telling you guys before, and I collect the ones that don't have the WWF stamp on the back. I have the 99 set that didn't have it. The 2001 versions of those all have the WWF stamp on the back of it next to the Figs Inc. So just a little tidbit there.
No, looks and speaking of just the design itself, the version 1 looks incomplete without those wings on the version 2. I just don't know how Figures Inc. could fuck up that hard and just completely forget the eagle. Like, the fuck were they doing when they were designing this belt? I feel like it has to be deliberate. Like, I don't.
Well, the thing with this was the Outsiders. Casey, I don't know if this was, but I don't know if Kevin Nash and Scott Hall came up with a variant of the belt, and J-Mar did it. But that night, Monday Night Nitro, when they had introduced the belts, and Kevin Nash had it around his waist walking out, it looked like a kid-sized belt on him. And so I think there was a lot of negative input on it. So they had to make the V2 with the wings on it just to make it a little bit bigger. Because like I said, when you had Kevin Nash holding that belt, it just looked very like kid. It was literally, he just grabbed the kid's belt and, threw it on his shoulder. So they needed to change it ASAP.
It was a Jakks Pacific foam belt.
The main plate doesn't do it for me, to be honest. I kind of like the man holding like the globe. It's kind of unique. It's pretty cool, but I just don't really like the main plate. The shape of the main plate's kind of weird. Side plates I don't mind. They remind me of the cruiserweight side plates, so I like those. I definitely prefer with the purple paint, but it's not bad. What do you think, Rob?
From a designed perspective, I mean, I do like the V2 better than the V1. However, let's talk about rarity, because I love that word, rarity. Would I own both? Of course I'd own both. I mean, it's rare. I mean, Brandon, I feel you as rare belt collectors, right? That's exactly what I've been talking about on the previous episodes. Even though some of them may not look as great, I'll still own them. Why not? It's rare. And that's exactly it. That's it. I did know someone else who was actually a part of the Belt Addicts Anonymous admin team who did have the V1. Wasn't in a very, very good shape, but he did have it. Colin Sauvé did have the version 1 at one point. And he did mention about the eagle as the main item, what Casey was talking about with respect to the eagle appearing on the V2 rather than on the V1. So, but both belts, I'd have them. Why not?
Yeah, no, of course you would. You would do that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Moving on to the WCW Classic Tag Team Championships. It's okay. The design, the shape of the plates is so weird.
I like it.
For me, it's so weird. I don't understand it. The actual design inside the plates of the side plates and the main plate is fine, I guess. I hate the text on the main plate. It just does not stand out at all. You can barely read that. Tag team is just blending in there. The world, same thing. You can barely see that, and it just looks so off with the blue paint going around it. It just does not fit there. The shape of the plate is fucking ridiculous. I don't get it. The side plates, it reminds you of those things from Mario that landed on you, the big bricks. It reminds me of that. It just looks stupid as fuck. And then it has two grapplers in the middle. Fine. None of this screams tag team wrestling to me at all. It just looks like a random belt. I would never own it. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, and again, I would own it, but
Yeah.
again, for the rarity. But let's talk about design. I think I've seen one recently that was actually just listed on eBay. However, you're right. There is not a lot of popping here. There isn't. However, I do think that there is. I don't know why they would go with black WCW and then on the side plates go with a red WCW. Like I don't understand that. There is lack of color definitely on that main plate. The globe is kind of cool with the world. Like it is really, really cool. Distance and side plates are pretty good. Side plates are not that bad. Cut's pretty decent. I do like the belt. I do. Maybe slap a little bit more color, maybe be a little bit more consistent. But again, another rarity that I would own. Casey, what do you think?
So I have owned this in the past, and I wound up selling it. It just wasn't a piece that really clicked with me. I mean, yeah, it's a very, very rare belt, but I don't know. Yeah, I didn't have a hard time letting go of it. It's all right. It's got problems. Like Max said, things just don't fit right with it. The text doesn't pop. Nothing really stood out that made me love it. But you can't see it in the picture here, but there is a property plate. There is a sixth plate. It's just another square with the WCW logo on it. And I believe it's in a black circle on that plate.
Mm-hmm.
It does have a gold tip as well, but I don't know. I don't hate it and I don't love it. It's just I don't really care about it, to be honest. It's one I could own for the rarity, like Rob said, but I'm not gonna seek it out.
Yeah. Now, Brandon, what do you think, man?
I actually, Casey, if you remember, we traded your WCW tag team for the
That's
ECW.
right. That's right. We did.
And then you made that video, and we found out that it was a purple ECW that Figs Inc. Painted over black. I didn't do it. The guy that had me didn't do it. It was a mint belt, nothing wrong with it, not a scratch on it. And then we found out that Figs Inc. literally painted over the purple. So so right there, that was a rare belt. But this belt was when it caught my attention that I wanted it in my collection was when the Hollywood Blondes had introduced it. They had the NWA tag team title, and then Stunning or Steve, I think that was his name, but Stunning Steve or
Stunning
something.
Steve Austin.
Yeah, he had the WCW tag team belt, so that had caught my attention. And when I can't remember who they fought for that, but again, I had two versions. I had three of them in my possession once, and I had sold both of them to Frank Paul. So now he has both of them from me. But it was a cool belt to have in my collection. It wasn't one of those, I got to keep in my collection. It actually wasn't the reason why I didn't keep it. It was a part of the 2001 line that WWF had came out with, so it wasn't really original Figs Inc. So I couldn't keep it. With that being said, though, it is a cool belt. It was a heavy belt. The gold tip on it was, I think, one of the top 5 gold tips I've held or seen. It was heavy.
Just the tip, yeah.
But yeah, it was a nice belt.
Easy.
Again, those 2001 line, they did the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Same thing. If you got a scratch on that, it was straight black scratch. It wasn't a one of those light silver scratches. It was a straight dark scratch. But yeah, it's a cool belt. But said not one of the ones that I had to keep in my collection.
Yeah. Now moving on to the WCW United States Championship. We talked about this previously, how I hate the three-player version, and we talked about it in the episode with Colin. We went over the United States Championship history, and yeah, I just don't like the three-player version. I just hate those side plates. You can barely, if there is there even writing on there, you can barely tell. It just looks like a bunch of fucking nugget texturing. Ridiculous side plates. Main plate's okay because it's basically the same thing, just a little wider than the original version. Like I said it before, the 5-plater is 100 times better, way better design. This design is just sloppy. Those side plates, what the fuck was Jamar thinking when he designed those side plates? Like, was he even thinking, or was he just doing the nugget texturing the whole belt and then realized, oh shit, I did the whole side plate. Screw it, let's just throw it on the belt. Like, that's just ridiculous. It looks horrible. But as for a replica, 2mm, it's not bad. Strap looks decent. No real tooling, just stitching. It's a rare belt, but of course I wouldn't own it. But Rob, I'm sure you would own this. But what do you think about the design?
And you want to know, actually, I don't think I actually would own this.
Oh.
I don't really like this belt. I never have, except for the 5-plater. I would like to have the 5-plater. I would, but this belt, you're absolutely right with respect to the side plates. The nugget texturing, you can't really see much. And then, as we were talking about it on the episode with Colin, I mean, you've got it's like you have the bald-headed eagle, and then you've got the flag that is not really the United States. What is it? Texas?
Texas
The
flag.
Texas Championship. I've never liked this belt. There is a guy here locally that has been trying to get me to buy his version of the belt. It's signed by Scott Steiner. I don't want it. I really don't, even though Scott Steiner, fine. With respect, I like clamshell tooling. I know that this was a stitch. I'm not a fan of it. I never have been. A former co-host, Mike Morano, ended up unboxing the new release from WWE Shop. I got to tell you, Mike, and I hope you're watching this, bro. I really do. That belt looked like ass. Okay, it really did. You can comment on that with your fiance when you were talking about the SmackDown Classic tag, how you have sex on the bed with respect to it, or how you were having sex with this belt, that you got to make love to this belt. Bro, how can you make love with something so fucking hideous? I mean, seriously, what are you going to do? You're going to throw a body bag on that, and then you're just going to go for it? Seriously, man, I don't know what you're doing here. I really don't. Oh, and by the way, I forgot. Next day shipping, bro. Fuck, why would I get next day shipping? Seriously, on something so ugly. Casey, what do you think?
Well,
How can you top that? How can you go? How does that?
So first and foremost, I'd just like to say fuck United Brothers belts.
Nice way to follow.
If we're gonna go on rants about people that we need to call out, I got a couple names, and then we'll go back to the WCW United ass title. So I'm not gonna drop last names because who wants to get into all that? But I'm pretty sure his name is Jamie. It could be pronounced Jaime. I don't know. And then Chad. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Chad. So these two motherfuckers, you want to come into this hobby, something where we filtered out all of the scumbags. Like, we are getting these motherfuckers out of here. And there are 3 main groups right now for Figs Inc. collectors that are dominating the Facebook world and social media and all that shit, and you want to infiltrate this just to be a piece of fucking shit? So I'm talking about 2 pieces of shit that come in to these groups, our group at that. First of all, you're not going to come into BAA and start shit, I promise you that, because if I don't tear your ass first, Rob, Max, Brandon, Colin, Jamie, all these motherfuckers are going to tear your ass. Yep. So, come in there and start harassing one of the top guys. I'm talking about Kevin. He's a Hall of Fame member, like one of the first at that. You're going to come in here. This guy is selling some very nice and rare Figures Inc. pieces. I'm talking stuff that you've got like a 1 in 100 chance of ever finding. You're gonna come in here and seriously offer him $100 on something like a light heavyweight championship?
I mean, it's an ugly belt, but yeah, no, for the rarity.
$100. That's exactly it. And Casey, I mean, with respect to these motherfuckers, and I really pray that you fuckers are watching this video. We've put your asses on the annoying person list on the do's and don'ts guide of the belt hobby page. If we ever catch your sorry asses even trying to get into Belt Addicts Anonymous, we'll have you fucking banned. And I'll tell you what, I know you guys are members on Heel and Heroes belts. I know the admin over there. I'm actually contemplating. I probably will drop her a note saying how fucking bad you two really are. You're a disgrace to this fucking hobby. The both of you, you don't deserve to be in this hobby. And to tell you the truth, Belt Addicts Anonymous, I forgot, Belt Addicts Anonymous wants to give you guys a private message. Go fuck yourselves.
Oh, God. Okay. Casey, what do you think about the belt?
Okay, so back to serious matters here. I have to clarify a few things that you mentioned with this replica. So the side plates actually do have artwork on them. It's a nugget textured background, but there are grapplers on each side plate, and it says World Championship Wrestling across the top and bottom. It's very, very faint.
Yeah,
I could never see the detail until I actually held the replica in my hands. It's more prominent on the WWE shop version that's out now. You can definitely see it now. You guys say y'all prefer the 5-plater to this one. Well, I have to flip-flop that, and I have to say I prefer this JMR version just for the fact that you guys know I'm all about the Attitude Era. The invasion angle is my favorite point in WWF history, WWE history, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And this one just, it screams back to things like Edge, Chris Kanyon, fucking Goldberg. Just some of the greatest points in me watching wrestling. So I prefer this one. And I do find things wrong with it. Like, why the hell is there only 1 star on either side of the eagle? The United States flag has 50 stars. This belt has 6. So explain that one, Nancy Drew. It is a little wide. And you mentioned the strap. The strap is good. It's better on the 99, 2000, 2001. And that's very hard for me to say because you guys know how trash original Figures Inc. straps can be. Mm-hmm. But that's only because these 2003 productions onward, it was like that glossy strap. And over time, those sons of bitches cracked and completely just tore away. I've owned one, and it gets more cracks, wear, and tear than the classic tags, the Hogan 86, the classic WCW World. It is insane how easy those straps peel on those newer ones.
Hmm. Yeah, Brandon, what do you think, man?
I really wish Figs Inc. would have made a version of the 5-plater. I thought that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
You see this a lot on belt groups, you know, selling. This is probably one of the most sold, you know, sale belt that you'll see on there. It was the time when I started watching. It was a cool belt. I'm with Casey. I like this version better than the 5-plater, but the history of the 5-plater has more than this one, I believe. But to what Casey was saying, with all the great wrestlers that have held that, you got Diamond Dallas Page. That was my favorite time, is when he fought Raven for it, and then him and Raven were having the feud, and Raven won it. So that was about around the time it started catching my eye. But yeah, I have a really good version of it. It was signed by, you guys seen it last week. It was signed by Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. It's a nice looking belt. Now the star, you know, the single stars, the 4-star. I know there's meaning behind it. I believe Carmine explains it in his video, because I believe he has the belt. I could be wrong, but I believe I don't know if he has the 5-plater or this version, and I believe maybe Diamond Dallas Page has this belt. I can't recall, or because I remember Edge was the last person to have the belt, and I don't know if he gave it back to WWE, and then WWE gave it to Diamond Dallas Page because wasn't he involved with WWE around that time, I believe, as like an executive in the back or something, because he was wrestling, but I think after he was wrestling, he got a job back there, and I think they gave him the belt. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I thought that's who has it, because if you look at his yoga studio, he has the belt above the wall right there, all the belts that he has won, and I believe that's the one that's in that case right there. But to the whole point of it, though, like I said, around that time I liked it, but like I said, it's not a big sought after belt. It's pretty common. It's really common in the belt world, but yeah, as I said, it's all right for me.
Now, moving on to a belt that is complete dog shit, and nobody can change my mind about it. Not the light heavyweight, the WCW Hardcore Championship. God damn it, I don't know what to say. This is the completely horrendous belt. It looks like dog shit. We talked about it in the Hardcore episode, but this is one of the biggest pieces of shit belts I've seen in a long time. I don't know if this is the worst WCW belt they ever made. Maybe this or the Cruiserweight Tag Team belts. I'm not sure which one's worse. This is absolutely hideous. I talked about it more in detail in the Hardcore episode. If you guys will check that out. But fuck, this is ugly as hell. But let's start on the main plate. The shape looks like a literal shit. Like someone took a dog shit and just put it on a plate. And then the fucking stupid flames look ridiculous. Like, it's just such a stupid shade of red. The side plates look like shit. Just like, what the fuck is that? A crutch and a shovel? How the hell is that hardcore? Makes no sense. Just horrendous. Stupid. The leather cut is ridiculous. The fucking stupid nameplate at the bottom. Why does a hardcore title need a nameplate? It just looks so stupid. Rob, what do you think?
Oh, after you just shot on that, I'm going to take an even bigger shit on this piece of crap. I don't like it. Absolutely not. I mean, we were talking about it in the previous episodes. The distance from the main plate to the side plates is stupid. I find that the main plate is bigger than what the side plates offers. It's just a lot of inconsistencies. I mean, this is a rare belt. I don't fucking care. I still don't like this belt. I really don't. Nameplate doesn't belong on there. There's a lot of red on it. I just think it's just ass. And then World Championship Wrestling at the top. I mean, you can't even tell that that's World Championship Wrestling. You can't, definitely. I know a few other people that did own this. I mean, I fucking hate it. I mean, if I'm going to talk about something that I really hate, do I hate this more than United Bitch Brothers?
That's saying a lot. That's saying a lot.
Fuck no. I hate United Bitch Brothers. I hate them so fucking much. I really do. Like, and I can't get over how much I fucking hate them. It's not just like a hate, it's a hostile hate. Like, it's more of a hostile fucking hate. It really is. Again, United Bitch Brothers. I mean, I gotta hand it to you. I mean, I think I'd rather own this than have your sorry asses make me a belt. Oh. I really do. Again, fuck you. Belt Addicts Anonymous also wants to say fuck you. And as well, I mean, what else can I say about you? I hope you guys get hit by a fucking truck. Casey, what do you think?
Oh. Sorry. The WCW Hardcore title is so fucking boring. I totally phased out. What can be said about this belt? It is a piece of shit.
There we go.
Oh.
What? First of all, I want to know why the hell they had to put the Grand Canyon between the side plates and the main plate. Like, that's a national treasure. and you're going to go and disgrace that by making this belt. I mean, look at it. Look at it. Rob mentioned the WCW World Championship Wrestling logo up top. For all I knew, that was a very poorly drawn star, like maybe a toddler drew it with a crayon. I mean, what the hell even is this thing? This isn't the WCW Hardcore title that was used on television. That version didn't even have that fucking Starburst logo, if I remember right.
I don't think so.
The side plates, you got a crutch and a shovel. A fucking shovel? Like, that's Triple H's thing. He's the one that buries people. But a fucking shovel. Like, for real. Because I definitely don't dig this belt.
Yeah, Shovel's hardcore, I guess.
And the nameplate.
Why?
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 It looks like a whole fucking yardstick. And whose nameplate you can even like put on that anyway? Harvey Whippleman, Mae Young,
She gave birth to a hand.
Regis Philbin,
Yeah.
United Belt Brothers. That's actually more fitting.
Yeah, the stupid nameplate's long enough to fit their dumbass name. Brandon, what do you think about this shit?
Well, like you had said, and we had talked about in our last our hardcore episode there, the TV version, and it does have the WCW logo in the center of it, Casey. It looks a hell of a lot better than this belt, and you can't even actually put a nameplate on that nameplate. It was literally just carved in there. But like we had talked about, they had to rush and make something. This wasn't an original Figs Inc. This was WWE, I believe. And I know Scott, good friend of mine over there in Scotland, he has this belt in mint condition, and he just has to have it because it's one of the belts that's a part of the line. But if he didn't have to have it, he wouldn't. So you guys already know the input on what I had about it. I have my version. It's way better than this. So yeah, let's move on, please.
Yeah, no.
Seriously.
Let's move on to a beautiful belt. That is the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. This is a beautiful, beautiful belt, and we talked about it in the Cruiserweight / light heavyweight episode. I love this belt. I really do. If I had one gripe, it would be the size of the nameplate. I would make it a bit bigger, but I just love those side plates so much. I love them. The main plate looks fucking beautiful. The columns on the sides, the WCW logo, you can actually read the text. The nice red cruiserweight, so you can actually read it. It's not just blue, so it blends in. It stands out. You know it's the Cruiserweight Championship. The leather cut looks good. No tooling. That's fine. I don't have a huge issue with it. It doesn't really need tooling because the plates are so detailed already. Don't really need some tooling on there. I love it. I really do. The WCW logo stands out, but not too much. The columns look good. I love the nugget texturing. Side plates, again, look absolutely beautiful with the red WCW logo. I love this belt. Rob, what do you think?
Absolutely love this belt. I love everything about it. I love the main plate. I love the side plates. I love the distance from the main plate to the side plate. I love the use of color that they're using on that main plate. Really, really nice. You can tell, I mean, this is a really, really nice Cruiserweight Championship. This is really, really nice. I love how they do the WCW, like they kind of cut it off on like the side plates with the, I mean, I absolutely love that. I love everything with respect to this belt. To find this belt, guys, and I mean, let's talk about rarity. To find this belt on a stock strap, I mean, it is really hard to find this on a stock strap. I mean, with the Figures Inc. Would I own it? Of course I'd own it. It's an absolute beaut. It really, really is. I know a few people that have owned it. There's one guy on this podcast that does own it. I mean, absolutely. So, Casey, what do you think of the belt?
So I got to follow suit, guys. This is an amazing belt. In my opinion, this is the best one out of all of the WCW line, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
There are differences between the original 99 releases and, on to 2000, 2001. But after, I think it was 2003, whenever WWE started having the WWE patches and all that shit, the paint is different on that globe, if I remember properly. I believe it was a lighter, almost baby blue on the original version, and then they started using this darker blue. They did the same thing with the Intercontinental when they went from WWF logo to WWE logo, although the actual belt itself stayed the same. But that's the only difference between them that I could ever point out. Everything pops with this belt. The paint work, phenomenal. I've never seen a WCW Cruiserweight with bad paint. I've never been fortunate enough to own one of these, and it is on my get list because X-Pac holding the WCW Cruiserweight and the light heavyweight at the same time was one of my favorite things. That was the first time I had seen one of my top guys hold two belts, and I was like, yeah, he's on top of the world. Like, I thought it was so cool, and I've always wanted to do that so I could have something to accompany my light heavyweight there. Sorry, Max. But, yeah, I love this belt and everything about it.
Yeah, Brandon, what do you think, man? I know you own this belt.
Well, yeah, you already know this is my fave, man. This is one of my mint belts too, man. Not a scratch on it. Freaking leather is beautiful.
Thing is beautiful.
But yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite belts. This is what got me into wrestling. Seeing this debut on Monday Night Nitro with Dean Malenko. This was one of the most iconic moments when he faced Rey Mysterio first bout. It was the first fight on the card. Rey Mysterio came out with a pink mask on, pinks just get up, pink down from head to toe. Man, that right there was like my moment. It was in Florida, where I'm from. It just you feel it. That's when you get the goosebumps, when you get that just out of body experience that like I showed you guys, man, that was my dude, and then when he won it, then it just took off for me. Everybody that's held this belt had ended up having great careers. Billy Kidman, Juventud Guerrera, Rey Mysterio, Chris Jericho, Dean Malenko, and then when you get into the Invasion, you got X-Pac, that won that shit. That right there, Casey and I are like one and the same. Him and I have the exact views on a lot of things. It's pretty crazy how him and I agree on a lot of stuff, and we fill in each other's answers, we fill in each other's questions. On it's pretty crazy how adapted we have become over the years, being together, and that, like I said, if you can get this belt, it's one of those that you'll take to the grave. It's like I said, as you can tell, man, if I could, I'd walk around with this thing all day. I mean, I could, but then I get some stare downs. But this was like I said, an iconic moment for WCW. It actually, they talk about it in their documentary that it actually, including the NWO, this actually helped save WCW, bringing in these cruiserweights because they're coming from New Japan, and that's how New Japan with Ultimo Dragon bringing in all those belts. Because there was I believe in Japan he was the first WCW cruiserweight, and then they had to make a belt to bring it over to WCW, and then that's when Dean Malenko had introduced the belt. But like I said, great belt. 10 out of 10. If you can get this belt, it's a rare one. It's a have to have. It's like I said, if you can ever come across one, it's a shocker. You don't see too many of these getting dropped, so but yeah, with that being said, man, it's one of my favorite belts. It's one of the most iconic belts. It's definitely it's a must have.
Yeah, and Brandon, yours has a heck of a curve on it, it looks like.
Yes, I had mine a little.
Yeah.
But I try to get as close as to the original, as they are. But yeah, they had a little curve to it. The original one on WCW. But yeah, it's my baby.
That's a sick belt. Beauty.
Absolute
beauty.
Now,
Do you-
sorry.
Do you guys remember the WWF Cruiserweight title whenever they put the WWF logo photoshopped on that belt?
They
You gotta
did.
find the picture.
You gotta find that pic.
It's floating somewhere. I have it.
Now, while he finds that picture, let's talk
Yeah.
about the WCW World Television Championship. This is a really cool design. I never really saw too much of it until I really got into the belt hobby, but it's not bad. It's not one of my favorites. I'll say that. I know Wayne talked about this in one of his YouTube videos. Shout out to him. He loves this belt, and I've grown to like it with time. It reminds me of the big gold with the main plate almost. I love that all the floral pattern in there. Oh, there is. Casey, show the picture.
Oh wow.
So you're probably barely going to be able to see it, but yeah, they photoshopped the side plates and the main plate there. And
he had said that blue is different also. You can see the difference in the variation of the blue, how it's become lighter instead of darker.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
But anyway, yeah.
But yeah, this is a really cool design. 5-plater, pretty simple design. Not too much paint. The only real color paint is the blue globe and the red WCW logo. Interesting WCW logo. It's like I've never seen this logo on any other belts before. I may be wrong, but it's like the W, the huge C, the small C, just like it's really cool. Not bad. Yeah, pretty cool. What do you think, Rob?
I want before you start off on this, I just want to let you guys know the reason why on that. This was actually supposed to be the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. The reason why the C is so big is because that was representing the cruiserweights. So that's why that C is so hyphenated. And actually, where it says World Television, it had cruiserweight on the plate. So when I believe Booker T had it, or Rick Montel, I can't remember who it was, but you can see when it was like Hog Wild, I believe there's a picture of it where it had cruiserweight on it, and then they I don't know, magic marker or something, and they crossed it out real quick. And then, like I said, the next variation was World Television, and then there's another variation that said Television on it, and that was the last. That was the last one.
Cool. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, I did not even know that history around it. I mean, it's a basic title for me. I haven't been totally a fan of this. I actually had a chance to get one here. I decided not to. I do notice, and I mean, maybe it's because of what Brandon says with respect to this being the Cruiserweight Championship, but the writing on the World Television is different than what Champion is. Maybe that's what happened here. I don't know. I also see okay, I guess the C is bigger, but then you have red on the main plate, the red, black, and then on the side plates you got black. I mean, I guess, I don't know, is that inconsistency? I'm not sure. I don't think that there's a lot of color with this. Maybe there were not supposed to be a lot of color with this. I mean, for me, it's it is. Again, I had a chance to get it. It's an okay title. Casey, what do you think?
So I've actually owned 3 of these, I believe. I've had a deluxe version from Figs Inc. around 2006. I believe that was it was 200 and something out of, I think it was only 500, might have been 1,000. But I've had the original 99 version, and then I've had just a standard Figs Inc. from like 05. And there's differences in all of those whenever it comes to the Figs Inc. version of it. But as for the actual belt itself, like Brandon was talking about, this was supposed to be the original Cruiserweight. The World Television, I think that was actually a relief banner that was stuck on there when it said World Television. It's kind of similar to the Universal title whenever they had that relief banner just put over World Heavyweight. I've also heard, I don't know how true this is, but I've also heard that since it was kind of secondary to the World Heavyweight Championship, they wanted it to look like a scaled down Big Gold, which you can definitely see there. It does have similarities with the main plate, but lots of floral pattern here, and it kind of doesn't fit in some places, but it doesn't look terrible. I wish the globe would have been that lighter blue. I think that would have popped a lot more, and maybe the background behind WCW on the top, maybe paint that in black as well. There were just little small inconsistencies like that, as well as the difference in the font, like Rob mentioned. But as for the Figs Inc. version of this belt. I saw differences with all of them. The 99 was a darker tone. It was more of a brassy tone of gold versus the newer Figs Inc. ones. The deluxe that I had, the strap was phenomenal. The 2005 or 6 regular Figs I had was a trash strap. It was awful. The 99 was definitely the best one that I had. And wound up selling all 3 of those over time, and I kind of regret it because I actually like this belt quite a bit.
And I know,
one other thing, I apologize. One thing I forgot to mention, it does have a tip. The replica does have a tip. It's that really weird half circle.
Oh, yeah, like the half skinny tip.
Yeah.
Forgot to mention that one.
Yeah, no, Brandon, you own this belt. Why don't you show it off?
Yeah, as Casey was talking about, you have world television right here, and then the blue, how dark the blue is, and then you actually, I don't know, it is gold. It looks silver when you look. It kind of has a silver kind of offset right there, but it is gold. And then, as Casey was also pointing out, there's the tip right there. It has little ridges going across it, and it's really thin. It's a thin tip right there.
Weird
That's
tip.
what she said. Yeah, I have the 99 version. Like I said, I've been in possession of the 2001, the 05 one, as Casey said. Also, the gold is different because, like I said, if you were to scratch this, you would still have a silver. You would have a silver background, silver scratch to it. With the 2005 ones, if there was a scratch, it'd be black. You would literally see the black scratch. So that's one thing that if you do get a little scratch here and there on the 99 versions, it's just there isn't a definitive dark spot where you can see it. It's just like just kind of scratch. But so mine's mint, man. So like all mine are. Well, you do have wrestlers right here. You can't really tell what they're doing. It's just a big glove. Yeah. But you'll see this kind of floating around a little also on the belt groups. If you get a 99 version and it's in mint condition, Rob, get you one. Casey said it's good to have in your collection. Great, amazing people have held this belt over the years. My favorite, Booker T, Chris Jericho, he had won it also. So a lot of great people have held this championship over the years. So I applaud this belt, the history of it. So it's a good belt to have.
Yeah.
For sure. Yep. Now moving on to one of my favorite or WCW designs. This is WCW Classic World Championship used from 91 to 93. Complete beauty. I love this design, and I'm probably gonna get this belt someday, but I really do love this belt. It was only used for a few years, so short-lived, but a complete beauty. Of course, the side plates remind you of the Winged Eagle. A few changes to it, of course, with the globes, grapplers, the WCW logos. WCW logos on every single plate and a property plate, just to remind you what belt this company is part of. What company this belt is part of. The one thing I don't like is the world banner. You can barely see it. It's kind of just like blending in there with the gold. If it was painted in black, that'd be kind of cool, like the heavyweight and the wrestling champion part. Love the property plate. Always love a good property plate. Actually has simulated tooling on there. Has a clamshell going around the plates. Love that. Wish they added some tooling going around the WCW property plate. I think they'll look really cool. But it's a nice belt. I love it. Love the 3 stars on the sides. Pretty simple design. I don't mind the kind of weird shape on the main plate. I think it looks good. What do you think, Rob?
I absolutely love this belt. Now we're talking here, guys. I mean, this is a title. This is definitely a title. I think of Ron Simmons, of course, with respect to this belt. It's an absolute beauty. I love everything about it. I love the property logo. I love the side plates. I love the main plate. I love the cut on the leather. I love the tooling. I would take this literally out with me. I'd go to restaurants with this bad boy. I really would. I'd go to the grocery store with this bad boy. I'd just wear it around my waist. And I mean, and people look at me and I'm like, what the fuck you looking at? I mean, I'm the champ, bitch. And that's it. Like, that's exactly it. But you mentioned that world, Max. You mentioned the world. Similarity, of course, to the Hogan 86. I mean, that's exactly it. They do not have that colored in on the Hogan 86. I absolutely love, of course, I love the Hogan 86. I love this belt. I would definitely buy this belt. Now, let's just make sure here, okay? The low ballers, okay, as we were talking about previously, okay, and you guys know who the fuck you are, okay? You guys don't deserve to have anything like this, okay? Offering $100 for this. This is not a $100 belt, guys. Way more than that. Definitely not. Again, Belt Addicts Anonymous thinks you're a disgrace to this hobby, and we'll just keep that. We'll keep it at that. Casey, what do you think?
Well, when it comes to those fuckheads that you're mentioning, yeah, fuck you. You know who you are.
Yeah.
Suck it. Anyway, this belt, like you guys are saying, this is a fucking gorgeous belt. I've never owned this one. I definitely would love to. I've had opportunity, but this one, as well as the television title, these belts are notorious for getting tarnished really, really easy. When I see this design, like Rob said, I immediately go to Ron Simmons, also Vader, but more so Ron Simmons because, I mean, he did make history with this, becoming the first African-American world heavyweight champion in WCW, and that was just a huge, huge moment in not just pro wrestling history, but in the history of, the United States and everything. It was a big moment, and I definitely think he deserved that. And what a better belt to make history with. I mean, everything about this thing is right. I actually don't mind the world being that kind of blended with the gold there, like the Hogan 86. I like that they popped more on heavyweight and wrestling champion because it's World Championship Wrestling. Everybody knows it's a world title. Love the logo plate. My God, that is beautiful. The black backgrounds behind the logos, everything pops forward perfectly. You can tell that they definitely based these side plates on the Winged Eagle. No question about that. That is more than obvious. But overall, this is an amazing belt. Figs Inc. did a great job on it, and I love it.
Yeah. Brandon, what do you think, man?
I was in possession of this belt. I had this in my collection. I gave Jeff Levin a substantially big discount on that belt. So he has my belt right now. His belt now. It was a pretty not heavy belt, but it had a good weight to it. Max, what you're talking about, that 6 plate right there, it had a etching around it. So it did pop out a little bit more. I did love that. I was a big fan of that. Same thing. It wasn't a part of the original Figs Inc. line. So again, this was, I believe, 03 maybe. Casey, if you want to, I don't know if you want 05. No, I think it was 05. Wasn't it 05?
It was 04.
04. Okay, yeah. It was right. Yeah, is that 04? It said if you were to get a scratch, it would be black. So I wasn't a fan of that. Mine was in mint condition. I actually dropped closer. I think it was like $550 for it on eBay. It's just one of those belts. Lex Luthor had it, and the story behind this belt, the original Big Gold was in New Japan, I believe. So they had to quickly make a belt for WCW because, like I said, it was over in Japan, and they were keeping it. They weren't returning it. So that's when, I believe, quote me right, Ric Flair. That's why he made that Big Gold to be introduced that day. So there's a little tidbit for you there. But yeah, it's a nice belt. You said it has the WWF Winged Eagle side plates there. Definitely see that. It's a cool belt. It's a rare belt. Rob, I wish I would have sold it to you now, but
I would have picked it up off you, no doubt.
Yeah, it's a good belt.
For sure. Now let's move on. Let's step away a little from Figures Inc. Let's look at the WWE Shop variants. Now we did the same thing in the 2001 Figs Inc. Attitude Era line, and this time there's only two belts to look at. Now, first is the WWE Shop WCW Big Gold. I believe this is 4 or 5 millimeters. I don't like it. It's flat as fuck, which I know the real belt was, but I just can't get over how flat that is. Look at the side. It's like a plate. Like, holy shit. Am I going to eat dinner off of this fucking belt? Like, it just looks ridiculous. Etching's good. This is shop strap. You know what you're getting. Side plates, they're fine. Would I own this? Hell no. Hell fucking no. No way in hell would I own this belt. Even if I won in a raffle, I'd give it away or something. I would not want this belt in my collection. God, I don't like it. Rob, what do you think?
With you, man. I would not have this in my collection either. As we Canadians love to say here, what is it as flat as? It's as flat as Saskatchewan. There's no doubt about that. It is as flat as Saskatchewan. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen, trying to curve this. Good luck if you want to try, okay? You will fail. I mean, you absolutely will. It doesn't do anything for me, Max. I mean, it absolutely doesn't. What I'm trying to promote in my collection, it does not. I don't like it. Great thing about it is I don't own it, and I'll never own it. So, yeah. Casey, what do you think?
I got to agree with you guys. Don't really like anything about this. It's bland. It's flat as hell. It's flat as Kansas, I guess we'd say in the U.S.
There you go.
Most people would say Oklahoma, but that's Western Oklahoma because I live in a damn valley. But yeah, nothing really pops. I mean, the big gold, everybody likes the big gold. I don't really know that many people that don't like the big gold. It's history, but this just doesn't do anything for me. The Ric Flair signature series that came out, the two-tone, that one was really good. It had the two-tone. It wasn't really dual-plated because it looked like matte silver painting, like I just went in there with a bottle of testers, but it also came stock with Swarovskis. It was absolutely gorgeous. I love that version, but this one does absolutely nothing for me.
Couldn't have said it better. Brandon, what do you think, man?
I think we're all in agreement here on that one. This shouldn't have been released. It's way too much. As we would say in Florida, this would be a flat back. So yeah, it's a hard pass. Let's get to the next one.
and before we do, Max, the rookie belt collectors, and I mean, guys, you will definitely probably agree with me with respect to this. The rookie belt collectors are probably going to go for something like this because they're not going to know what the heck there is. Like this is, they're definitely not. Again, Belt Addicts Anonymous. I mean, that's pretty much our main page. It is our main page. If you have any questions with respect to any of the belts, we'll definitely guide you in the right direction. Just because we shit on some of these belts doesn't mean that that's your opinion, okay, of these belts. All right, if you want to own this belt, you can definitely go for it. I would not own it in my collection. I know that Casey, Max, Brandon, I know they wouldn't. But again, if you like the belt, go for it. Totally. We don't want to shit on that. So anyways, Max.
For sure. Now let's move on to the WWE Shop WCW United States Championship. Now Rob did shit on this belt just a little earlier. But I mean, I don't like the design. I talked about it before. I prefer the 5-player way more. Speaking on quality, though, it's not bad. 5mm plates, hollow, of course, but etching doesn't look bad. Paint, if it actually is paint, doesn't look too bad either. Strap, I mean, it's not stitched, but get it releathered. You really should. This is stiff as a cardboard. But I wouldn't own this belt. I really wouldn't. But if you like the design of the belt, it's not bad, I guess. Just please get it releathered. What do you think, Rob?
It's the bald-headed eagle Texas Championship. I mean, like, holy shit, Mike Morano, man. I mean, I come back to you, motherfucker. You know, you dirty motherfucker. I tell you, you were having sex with on the floor with this bad boy, were you? All right. And then you comment, of course, of the one that you had sex with when you unveiled the SmackDown Tag Championship. I can't believe it, bro. I mean, what you did and what you did with respect to this to get this belt What? I mean, I can't believe it, bro. Like, why? Why? Like, you should really come on here and tell me why the fuck did you even get next day shipping on this piece of shit? Seriously, I would just leave it to the sex, Mike. That's what I would do. Don't involve the belt. Casey, what do you think?
Oh, Jesus. So my opinion really remains the same when it comes to this belt. This one pops a lot more than the Figs Inc. However, I'm still going to pick Figs Inc. over this one because of, well, I mean, Figs Inc. Rob's middle name. The detail's a lot better on this. You know the plates are hollow. You know that strap is going to be stiff as hell. And with that being said, keep in mind, again, to the rookie belt collectors and to, well, really anybody watching this, I'm not shitting on WWE Shop because they do put out some great products. This just isn't my preference, so I'll never buy this one, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
But strap has good detail. It's just stiff as, well, apparently somebody that sleeps with their belts. And it looks good, but it doesn't beat a Figs Inc. Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on this version of it. It's not Figs.
Yeah, and I mean, again, you know, someone who sleeps with their belts, Casey. Hopefully, there's no unnecessary spotting on it. Brandon, what do you think?
Xavier.
I see what they're trying to do. You know, to make the plates thicker. You know, I think that's one thing about hobby. You see a lot of people complaining about is they want thicker plates. So to that sense, you know, I get it. They, you know, like what Casey said, also they hyphen the detailing of the belt just so, you know, they could bring it out. That's what I think they're doing with a lot of the belts. They're just, you know, making the, you know, everything more clear to see. You know, with the Figs Inc. belt, you couldn't really see what was going on in that on those side plates. Now, you know, with this new belt, they're, like I said, they're hyphenating what's going on, so you're more, you know, in depth, so you can see what's going on. They changed the blue. You know, it's a lighter blue instead of the darker blue. I haven't held this belt to know, but when this was being released, there was some hype behind it, and then I think it died down. I don't know what I think once people had it, they're like, oh shit, maybe this isn't what, you know, people were expecting. You know, you can see in the leather, you know, it has like that shiny kind of, you know, glossiness to it. You know, it almost with the picture though, it almost, you know, what they're trying to do is make it look like the Figs Inc. Strap. It kind of looks like, but it's too, in my opinion, but it's too flat that you can't curve it. If you try to curve it, I'm sure it'll snap in half. Not a big fan of it. But I get what they're trying to do. But yeah.
Yeah, but like, guys, I mean, you know, some of these belts, you know, that they're re-releasing, and I mean, I'm not trying to shit on WWE Shop, okay? You know, and I totally agree with you, Brandon. They're definitely hyphenating the detail. I mean, that fucking eagle is a bald-headed eagle. It looks like George fucking Costanza. Like, I mean, like, seriously. Like, I mean, I cannot believe, you know, maybe they should have just left it alone. Like, leave some of this shit alone. I mean, this one, I think they should have left alone. I mean, the only thing, like, they're really, really thick plates. They absolutely are. Like, okay, great thickness, hyphenated the detail. But, like, don't you guys think that they should have just left, like, they should just leave some of this crap alone? Like, and not just this belt, some other belts.
Yeah.
George Costanza. These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Yeah, but like, seriously though, this belt, I think they should have just left.
Yeah.
And if they were smart and if they were wanting to make some money on these belts that they're re-releasing, they should have did the 5-plater.
Yes.
Yes.
It could just, I think that would have made the gross profit on that belt just boom. And hell, they probably could have threw a WWE logo on there and, you know, did some changes on it, and that could have been the new WWE belt with the 5-plater. But you're seeing with the WWE belts, they're sticking with the one plate, you know, with the changeable side plates. In my opinion, that shit's got to change. It's getting in, you know, I love it, you know, when it was first introduced, but now I think they need to change that kind of get away from that kids, perspective of, customizing your a belt. And this is something that let me just make a little quick story real quick. I had a little meeting with Scott Demore and Josh Andrews last night at the Impact not throwdown event that was in Kentucky, and we had made those two belts for Moose, and we had asked, can we get the green light for him to bring it to the ring? And the whole hype behind Moose bringing that TNA white strap to the ring was something that Scott said they wanted to do. It was a cool storyline, something that was different. He was, one of the first, other than Matt Cardona, to bring, a customized championship to the ring. You don't, other than the hardcore belt where there's a couple of variations of when they won it, they're doing it, and you're seeing it now with AEW with the TNT belt. Whoever wins it, they're kind of changing it, customizing it to what they like and what they want. So you're following WWE with the side plates. So with everybody winning the belt, you're having them customize their own side plates.
Mm-hmm.
So what Scott had brought, a really good point to me, which, at that point, I really didn't pay close to it, attention to it. But now he's like, you're having, this is what he said, you're having all these promotions wanting to customize to the wrestler and to what they want. Well, what about what wrestling is? What about what wrestling wants? It isn't about the belt. It isn't about, them wanting to hyphenate, something that, they want to customize. It's keeping the tradition going of that belt being in the ring, not changing the belt, keeping it original. So I get it. He's probably 3 sheets into the win too. He was pretty drunk. They were drinking was it IEP beers or whatever the hell they were called all night. That's who was sponsoring the event. So I get what he was saying. To that point of keeping it original. So I think if they would have kept that those 5 side plates, bringing it back, that would have been so cool and could have kept some of that hype going. But now, like I say, you don't see the hype anymore behind the belt.
No, and I agree. Now, this does bring us to the end of the podcast, but we do have one more fun segment to top off the episode and finish off the last episode of the year, actually, because next week we're taking a week off for the holidays. I know everyone's celebrating New Year's, Christmas, and any other holidays, so we're giving you guys 1 week off, but we will be back in the New Year's. January 5th, we'll be back with a brand new episode. We won't announce yet which belts we're going over, but I'll announce it later on Belt Addicts Anonymous. Now, before we go, though, this is a segment we did last week with Brandon, and he did enjoy this a lot, so we're bringing it back for Casey. And that is called Shit Belts of the Week. I don't know if I'm going to do this every week. I'll see how it changes, but today I got a lot of shitty belts, and I saw it work, and I was like, you know what? I got to add it today. They're really shit. Basically, we
get to look at the United Brothers catalog.
That's going to have to be a whole separate episode. Trust me, we can be here all day if you want to look at complete dog shit from them. But I'm gonna keep us from looking at that dog shit. For now, let's look at some different type of dog shit. These are some beautiful, beautiful belts from Instagram that they sell in beautiful 2mm brass. And let's look at WWF Classic Tag Team Championships and the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, that classic tag looks absolutely immaculate. Beautiful 2mm brass plates on that beef jerky strap, and then on the right, that super accurate single layer AEW World Heavyweight Championships with that beautiful pointed cut at the top. Rob, what do you think about these belts?
What the fuck is with the pointed cut at the top? Yeah. This is absolute horseshit. It absolutely is. I absolutely love how they did the pointed cut. I love how they just decided to stick the block logo on the side there, and it's almost like giving me like Attitude Era vibes when it absolutely is. It's not good. It's really, really not good. Absolutely horrendous. That AEW, what the fuck are they trying to pull on that one? that is by far one of the worst ones I've seen. And I mean, again, like these belt makers who decide to message people and say, "Oh, I'll give you good belts, sir. I'll give you good belts." Absolutely amazing. Totally. Yeah. No, it's just absolutely horrendous here. I don't like it. I don't. I mean, I'm all about the license crap, and this is crap. I think I took a better shit this morning here. I know that I guess, Casey's going to mention it with respect to it, but Belt Addicts Anonymous was created to not promote shit like this. We are licensed belt collectors. We are. There are some good. I'm not going to try to knock on bootlegs. I won't. These are horseshit. There are some really high quality bootleg custom made belts, and we even have a member of our admin team who really does some really good stuff with makers. Eddie Williams, high class, no doubt. This is not even in our league. It's absolute horseshit and dog shit mixed together. Casey, what do you think?
Holy fucking shit. So I mean, I get what they're going for with that attitude tag, like I was showing you guys. They did have that version, but what the flying fuck is that cut? There's a cliff. There's a whole cliff going from the tip of that wing down to that side plate. So little Mr. Bacteria in the air, whenever he's going along that strap, he's got to commit suicide to get down there to the side plate. Like, what in the blue hell? Like, I'm not even looking at the AEW because that one looks like if I pick it up, I'm going to slice my hand open. But that cut, and it's god-awful. It's terrible. And like Rob said, we're not going to trash on all the as I like to call them, kayfabe makers, because there are some good ones out there. Like you mentioned, Eddie. Eddie does phenomenal work with phenomenal people. But this is absolute garbage. And this is why I tell a lot of new collectors, and hear me if you are new and watching this, until you have experience, like good experience, and have the knowledge in this hobby to where you can tell the difference between shit and not shit, stay off of eBay. Absolutely stay off of eBay, because this is the kind of shit that you're going to see on eBay for like $159 US. And I cannot say it enough. Stay away from this crap, because it's garbage. Look at this. This looks like shit. Like, there's no other word for it. It's shit. And now let's talk about that AEW. Good Lord. Why? Why the hell is there a point at the top?
And look at that main plate, dude.
If the fucking heel were to smash the babyface over the head with the belt, that strap is going to put his damn eye out.
Oh, totally.
And the fucking main plate, like Rob just said, it's not to scale with the side plates. Like, Rob probably did take a shit that looked better than this.
I did. And my dog likes to take dumps too.
This is just barely above United Brothers belts right here. Like, that's how low this is. United Brothers belts is still, but this is just like here's United Brothers and here's this. This is about as thin as Shawn Michaels' hair. Like, straight up. It's trash. What do you What do you think, Brandon? I don't like it.
Seriously, man.
As you can see, I'm in the deep water right now, so I'm gonna take those two belts and bury them in the sand right around here. So
I see the light in the sand.
So nobody
Because
can
if
hear
you drag that
speak of
motherfucker in the sand, you're gonna leave a line.
So yeah, the leather cut on that, it goes forever with that tag team belt. There is a belt tip on it though. I will give them that. There is a belt tip. I don't know if you can see it. It's a whole belt tip. It might be a whole belt tip. You don't know. There might be two belt. There might be a two thing right there. The AEW belt looks like a ship from Predator. I can see I can see a resemblance there. I'm just, it's just a whole nother. Casey, you're killing me. It's one of those things, man. He's outdone himself. He needs to definitely get on it, promote his stuff, see what his fan base thinks. But I like the belt holders. Those belt holders are really nice. I wonder if those come with the belts.
Unless it comes in a briefcase like they usually do. But I'll tell you, when Belt Addicts Anonymous was created by us, when it was created, we were trying to get away from crap like this. We will not allow this crap. Oh my goodness. And I laugh at it. You're right though, Casey. Just a little bit above United Brothers belts.
It's a fucking taint hair of difference. Like, it's just that thin of a line.
Oh yeah.
These belts are so horrible. I had to leave Earth. I'm in space now. That's how horrendous these belts are. I don't want to be in the same. I don't want to be breathing the same air as these belts. This is absolutely horrendous.
My wife would kill me.
God, these, and Brandon mentioned those belt holders are the nicest thing in that photo. Like, that AEW looks absolutely ridiculous. It looks like a frisbee. It's dog shit. But let me get these shitty belts off the screen so I can come back to Earth.
What the hell is happening around me? Why are there wieners dancing back here?
Those look better than the AEW.
I'm in United Brothers headquarters. Get me out of here.
Now that those horrible belts are gone from the screens, I can come back to Earth. But that does bring us to the end of the podcast. Rob, how do we end the podcast usually? Because I'm forgetting.
Well, of course, we, here at the Over Your Shoulder podcast, we're really, again, we're thankful to have our special co-host joining us today. Of course, we end the podcast always with a belt over the shoulder. So I'll grab one to put over mine.
Here's, I have a belt right here. Beautiful 2D WWE Big Gold textured by Nawaz. So this is an example of a high quality boot, not that dog shit we saw earlier. But Rob, what do you got over your shoulder?
This is it's an ultra rare belt, and we features this. This is the 2006 Figures Inc. Ultra Deluxe Hogan 86 with the COA 4mm plates, number 12 out of 500. And to show you, that is the COA. There it is. It's a beauty. I know Casey salivates at this bad boy. This one, there's no doubt, a lot better than the AEW that we just spoke about, ladies and gentlemen. This is a little bit of a higher class, but anyways, Casey, what do you have?
So it just looks like an ordinary big gold here, but we've got a pretty rare one. This is a 2002 WWF Alliance big gold. I know that my screen's really, really small in the video right now, but
it's got the old stamp.
2002. You probably can't see it, but it is 2002. It's 2mm. 2mm. The strap is trash. It's mint, but it's not a good strap. None of these were good, but I love this belt. When I saw that this was up for sale, the 2002 logo on the back, I jumped all over that. It came with the red bag. It's one of my favorites.
Now, Brandon, what do you have over your shoulder?
I had to throw up the WCW Cruiserweight, one of the best belts, made. But, man, had to throw this up. My baby. Taking this to the grave. Sorry, guys.
Beautiful belt. Now, that does bring us to the end. So before we go, though, like I said earlier, we won't have an episode next week. I know we promised we'll have an episode every single week, but we know with holidays coming up, we're going to be giving you guys a week off. I know you guys have probably a bunch of family dinners or friends, so we hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, spend time with your family, friends, whatever you celebrate, doesn't matter. Just a happy holidays from the Over the Shoulder podcast. We'll be back January 5th, though, with a huge episode, and I will announce that later on in the New Year's at Belt Addicts Anonymous. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Merry Christmas!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!